You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who never leaves the house without wearing a cup, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday, everybody. It is finally the start of a new week where we get to all come together and talk about things that make us happy. And of course, I'm talking about movies, TV, music, comedy, sports, walking, gelato, all kinds of stuff. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're off to a good start this week. Working the board, as always, is Conrad Krieger. Conrad, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
You know, we've talked about a lot of bumper stickers here on Nite Lite.
Yes.
Ones that we think are cringe.
Okay.
And today I found one that actually made me laugh out loud when I was walking.
What's that?
I can't fully say it.
While you were walking?
Yeah, I was walking and I see this car parked and it says, it's a picture of a cat flipping like off, you know?
Yeah.
And it says, I just lost my last flying blank.
A cat? So a cat flipping.
And that's what it was around it. And I was just like, okay, I don't know where you find that, but that's hilarious, actually.
But is the cat just got a bad attitude or what?
I don't know. They must be a cat person, you know? They must have saw that and been like, that's totally my cat right there.
A really rude cat person. Are you a cat person?
I would say I'm more of a dog person.
Yeah, okay.
But I have never owned a dog. Only cats.
So you've had, like, that means your parents are cat people.
Yeah, I mean, we've had cats all throughout my life until I moved out, you know?
Oh, wow, okay. Well, that's kind of funny. I saw some of the bumper stickers I see on cars. I can't even kind of like what you just said. I don't want to repeat them because it's there. And I can't believe people broadcast stuff on their car. Like one guy had one, and this is one of the tamer ones I've seen. Certified beaver hunter.
Nice.
Like and I was behind that guy in a drive-thru. I'm like, does that ever work? Like, do women go, hey, hello, hi?
I hear you're a certified beaver hunter.
I'm tired of dealing with these amateurs. All right. Well, that's a great start to the show. Welcome, folks. And did you have a good weekend, Conrad?
I did. Yeah. I hung out with my brother on Saturday. Okay. We went golfing and played a couple board games.
Do you beat your brother at golf, or is he better than you?
Oh,
no. Okay.
Yeah, he's miles better than me.
Wow.
But he's also golfed way longer than me. So.
Yeah. I'm in a good mood today because, well, it's Monday, and I've talked about this before on the show. Sometimes I don't know what to do with myself on the weekends, but I have gelato, and I'm wondering how many gelato days we have left, because it is now officially basically mid-August, about.
It's still warm. You know, I'm thinking, like last year, kind of like mid-October, starting to kind of cool down like that, because last year September still felt hot.
Correct. And they were open, but then they closed. I don't think these guys, Rise and Grind, are going to close or stop serving gelato through the winter. So that's kind of cool.
No, because their coffee is phenomenal. So
Correct.
I think that coffee part will stay open.
I agree.
Yeah.
We've got kind of a fun thing. During our first interview with my first guest, Fallon Buccoltz, they will be here at 6:35. And you have something in common with our first guest. I think you'll get a kick out of. We'll spring that during the interview, so you'll want to be here for that. Because
I was going to take a powder.
Don't take a powder during that interview. But Fallon is my first guest at 6:35, and they created a show called Instability out of Oshkosh. So that's exciting. I'm excited to welcome my first guest into the studio. Fallon will join me, and then at 7:20. Wisconsin-based, more specifically, Northeast Wisconsin-based comedian Trevor Klempner will be here. And I have not met Trevor before. Are you familiar with the comedy stylings of Mr. Klempner?
No, but I listened to that clip you sent, and it was pretty funny.
Do you have the clip?
I do, yeah.
Handy? Let's get this a little taste here of my guest at 720. This is Trevor Klumner.
Turned into a love of Dungeons and Dragons, right? And then I started LARPing, which some people know. For those who don't know, LARPing stands for live action roleplay. It's the people who wear the elf ears, they fight with the swords. It's essentially D&D for nerds who can afford their insulin. I had to quit doing it though, guys, because I ended up my costume from taking too much Adderall. That's relatable, right? I'm sorry, I forget we're in Appleton. Let me rephrase that. I my pants from taking too much meth.
Ouch. That's a shot at the good people
Yeah.
of Appleton. But Trevor is from the area. He can get away with that kind of stuff. So it'll be exciting to meet both of our guests tonight here on Nite Lite. Both in the studio. That's exciting, too. I literally just came from the film Weapons. And I went to see it over at the Marcus East. Well, this time there was a couple. Last time I went to see Naked Gun a week ago, there was one other person in the theater. And this time there was a couple sitting just down the row in over one. And that freaks me out like it's scary movies. This movie was not that scary. It was creepy. The director, Zach Cregers, did a film called Barbarian that I watched on a whim because I thought the trailer looked really cool. And every once in a while I do that. And I loved Barbarian. That was a couple years ago. This thing, Weapons, got much better, higher reviews, like a 90 or was it 95% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. And it was good, but not as good as Barbarian. Barbarian was like a cleaner story. This was creepy, and it was about kids. And the director, Zach Cregers, said kids freak him out. He doesn't have kids, but he finds kids freaky. So, and good performances, but not something I would have rushed to see. I was going to see it on opening weekend, which this is. Didn't get to the theater over the weekend. So I caught it today, and it was fine. But it's not something I needed to rush to see. You don't like those kind of movies anyway.
No, I don't go out to watch horror films.
Yeah. Well, when they get a 95%, I do.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm not. I would say don't rush out to see it. It's fine. Josh Brolin's good. Julia Garner is good from Ozark. Some good performances, but just, I don't know. Just okay.
Did you go watch Freakier Friday?
No, it's too scary.
Oh. I'm
it's
scared
right there
of
in
that.
the title, buddy.
I'm scared of Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, scared of Lindsay Lohan. I would watch that though.
I'll wait till it comes out on streaming. I'm not going to go to theaters to see it, but
my buddy Jimmy Pardo always said this is one of his favorite. When something came out he didn't want to see, he goes, "I don't watch that movie if it's playing in my glasses," which is a great way to. I don't know if I feel like that about Freaky Friday. Freakier Friday, I should say. It did get good reviews. It got like
do you think
80%.
The next one will be Freakiest Friday?
It's got to be.
Yeah,
right?
it has
If you're going
to
to be
be
grammatically correct, it absolutely has to be. I did end up going to let's do this first. We have a fun kind of a question today, and it kind of describes my mood today. So let's get to the Nite Lite question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question.
Questions.
Well, it's National Laziness Day, folks. So the question of the night is, how do you practice laziness? To be honest, I was too lazy to think about this question all day. I don't have a good answer. I would say for me personally, I kind of just ease into the day. I don't even really get dressed. I have coffee. I'll sit on the porch, do my New York Times puzzles, or play a game of video poker. I don't ever have a whole day dedicated to laziness, although there are days I won't work out or take a walk. I'll just kind of do what I have to do. That's about as lazy as I get. I'm not one of those people that just like stays in bed all day. But it's National Laziness Day. I want to know how you practice laziness. When you are lazy, what do you do? Inspire us. Drag us down into your realm of laziness and tell us how you celebrate. 855-752-4842. 855-75-CIVIC. National Laziness Day. How do you celebrate laziness? You can text us on the app also or on the stream if you're watching on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Mr. Krieger, How do you celebrate laziness?
I think it's pretty simple. I sit down to watch an episode, and all of a sudden 6 hours have passed, and I've watched so many episodes, and I'm just sitting there on the couch.
That's interesting because, like, I guess you're not really being active, but
You're not doing it. You're
this
just
is
watching.
probably a character flaw of mine. I don't consider watching TV to be lazy because I'm learning. I'm educating myself on what's out there. I'm entertaining myself. But yeah, I guess a lot of people probably do consider that lazy.
Yeah, it's just so easy to, like, say at night when I'm trying to fall asleep, and then I watch something I enjoy, and then all of a sudden it's 3 a.m. and I started at 12.
Listen, it's true laziness if you don't even like what you're watching. Like, if you're sitting there, if there's like a That 70s Show marathon on like TV Land or something, and I watch 4 episodes, to me that's being lazy because I don't really care about the show that much. But I don't know. Let me know what you do to practice laziness. And people do it different ways. Some people do nothing. Some people have no problem doing nothing. I've never been one of those people, but I can lounge because I'm one of those people, like, I always need my brain to be stimulated somehow, whether I'm playing video poker or doing a puzzle or writing a script or working on the show. Even if I lay down in my bed for a few minutes, I'm watching Seinfeld or something. Like, it's probably not healthy, to be honest.
No, it's so easy to binge watch something that you really enjoy, and then all of a sudden the hours just go by.
It's true. So let us know, folks. Be part of the show. There are no wrong answers. There are only your answers, and we love to read them on the radio and love when you precipitate, as John Candy would say. So I had the privilege of going to my wife's class reunion this weekend. That was kind of killed my Saturday night, but
Okay.
I'm kidding. It was fun. It's one of those things where, have you had a reunion yet?
No, I'm 2 more years. Yeah, 2 more
Is your
years.
10th?
Actually, no, 3 more years. Sorry.
You didn't have a 5th?
No.
Those people crack me up. I remember when I graduated high school and I'd see people out at the bars and they'd be like, we never should have voted for so-and-so to be class president, because when you vote someone in as class president or secretary, one of those two, they are responsible by law to organize the class reunions.
I don't even remember
What a
mine.
ripoff.
I don't remember my class president.
I mean, talk about being saddled with a terrible gig.
Yeah, what if they live like, in a different country?
I went to the 10th and I went to my 25th. I don't know that I don't really have much interest in going beyond that. But it's not to say I wouldn't go, but my wife was on the fence too. And when you're a date, when you're someone else, it's like you just kind of find the other people and you hover. But that is a perfect opportunity to mess with people, is at class reunions. Because I was talking to one of my wife's classmates and her husband, she was lovely. The husband was a great guy. We're talking. And I said, yeah, we have 2 kids too. My son Joe is 24. My daughter Kate is 20. And of course, Mary's pregnant with our 3rd. And the look on the woman's face was one of, like, shock, obviously, sadness, and horror. And I let it fester a while, and then I came clean. All right, our question of the night, folks. How do you practice laziness? It's National Laziness Day. Let us know. We got a lot of fun. We're talking TV tonight. We're talking comedy and all things in between. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Can't take my eyes off you.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Oh, you've been on a fast train and it's going off the rail and you can't come back,
Welcome back. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. That you have no idea how excited that song gets me. Do you know why? You know why I'm going to say I like that song?
Because you want to go on a fast train?
Well, I love trains. But tomorrow night at 6:35, Dan Schaefer from the recombobulation area here at Civic Media, our political authority, Dan Schaefer, is joining the show to talk about The Wire, one of his favorite shows, one of my favorite shows. And actually, as far as critics are concerned, one of the best shows of all time. Deals with the inner workings of City Hall and the Baltimore Police Department. It's such a good show. The characters are great, and Dan is a huge fan, and we've been trying to line this up for a while. So that will be tons of fun, and that is tomorrow night at 6:35. So I don't know if you play. I thought that's maybe why you're playing that.
No, but
excited.
This reminds me of something. I did watch something over this past weekend.
Oh, really?
Risky Business.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, dude, I am so excited. Your thoughts?
I liked it, but it wasn't
the
best movie I've seen.
Come on, have you seen a movie like that?
It was pretty unique.
You'll think about it, and you'll come around even more on it. Like, I believe that you liked it, but I think and whatever. That was from my time when I was even younger than you when I saw that. But
it kind of creeped me out that they're like in high school, and then
oh yeah,
they weren't even close probably to that age.
Ooh, yeah. Well, there's things you can't get away with now that you could get away with then. Fair point.
Yeah, I guess it's 2025. What year was that made?
1983, I believe.
Yeah, so that's a little different.
Listen, it's terrible, but when I was in school, there were teachers that dated kids at times, like in high school. It's terrible. I'm telling you, and sometimes they had the parents' blessing. How is that right on any level? I mean, I thought it was weird then when you'd hear about it, but I just, those are people wired completely differently.
Yeah, I don't.
Totally wrong.
Instantly be fired.
But I never even thought of that. Like with Risky Business, I just assumed they were all 18.
The way like the movie goes, you think they'd be like 25 or something around there. 30
Yeah,
even because they're just sitting there in the basement smoking cigarettes
and all that stuff. I don't have a problem with. Kids sneak beers, they drink, but you're right. It's the running an escort service out of your parents' house while they're out of town. That's kind of a red flag.
I thought it was hilarious though when the Princeton guy comes.
Oh, Bill,
and he stays.
Princeton can use a guy like Joel. I was in L.A. Where was I? I was in a baby store for some reason on Ventura Boulevard, and I think I was picking up something for my wife. And who walks in? Rebecca De Mornay, and she's pregnant from Risky Business. And there are some people, like I never approach celebrities, but there are a few who have impacted my life or the movies they were in where I have to fight not to say something. And she was very friendly. She was smiling at everybody, asking questions. She asked me out for coffee. I said, no, you're pregnant. That's not how I roll. All right, we got to get to our, we got to get off the topic. But you liked it. It's a good movie. Tom Cruise is great in it. And his friends are hilarious.
I honestly enjoyed Fast Times and Ridgemont High better.
Yeah.
But it still was a good movie.
Which also has a lot of inappropriate stuff by the modern day, but is also...
I just think that I was laughing like the whole time in that movie.
In Fast Times?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Did I compare the two? Is that why you're...
No, they're like closer, close to the...
True.
Because you told me to watch Fast Times, and I did.
And I think, I agree with you. I think Fast Times is much funnier than Risky Business. Risky Business has some great funny stuff. Like Joe Pantoliano, Guido, the Killer Pimp, very funny. But it's more of a, I don't know. I would call it a comedy drama almost, whereas Fast Times is more straight up comedy.
Guido didn't really scare me that much.
No?
No. He just took his stuff.
Yeah, that's true. But your parents are out of town. They come back. You're gonna be grounded. You're looking at a week in your room for that. With your video games.
All the furniture are gone. I think you get worse than a week.
All right. Our question of the night, folks. It is National Laziness Day. How do you practice laziness? Going to some of our social media responses. Here's Conrad Krieger by sitting on my couch and watching How I Met Your Mother until I realized that 6 hours have passed. Again, you love the show. I don't consider that laziness, but we all roll how we roll. Daniel Wheeler says, lazy is a term of shame. It downplays the value of self-care and brands those struggling with avoidance as bad people. Stay strong, everyone. Love, Daniel. Danny Wheels with some words of wisdom. Mike Desitel on social media says, I'm afraid I overdid it. I rolled over in bed. Now, that is laziness. When you have to gear up the rollover. Mike, you're the text of the night so far. Our pal Amanda Nimmer, fellow civic media employee and social media goddess, says, sitting in an empty room and staring at a wall. That is lazy.
That's just, I don't even know what you call that. That's just...
Maybe depression.
Pointless?
Pointless? Well, I mean, unless you're meditating somehow.
But she said staring at the wall.
Staring at the wall.
Not closing your eyes.
I want to check in on her.
Yeah.
Let's see how she's doing. I don't see Amanda much anymore these days. I'm worried. Patrick from the 608 says, I handle it very well. Was that a laziness comment? Tom from New Berlin says, is procrastinating the same? No. I'll tell you why, Tom, because you can procrastinate and go out and play golf or watch a movie or, take a run. I guess they can be the same, but not necessarily. Patrick in the 608 says, practice it very well. So he's saying he's very lazy. Okay. Fair enough. Take a load off, Patrick. Sit back. Enjoy the night. All right. We are going to come back and talk about the TV show Instability with its creator, Fallon Buccoltz. She'll be here. They will be here in studio in just a few minutes, folks, after the news. And then we got comedy with Trevor Klumpner coming up at 7:20. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
When did I fall? I wanna cry, cry, cry alone. When you're feeling blue, I'm waiting just for you.
Welcome back. This is Nite Lite. I am Pete Schwaba, and you've got the Civic Media Radio Network. Great to have you with us on this Monday night, ladies and gentlemen. Our question of the night, in honor of National Laziness Day, is how do you practice laziness? That is tonight's question. We've gotten several responses that we will get to shortly. So keep those responses coming in. You can also text us on the Civic Media app. We're on statewide, so just click next to the station you're listening to and fire away. And if you're watching on the stream, you can leave us a stream comment. Very easy to be part of the show, and hope you do. So right now, I'm excited to welcome my first guest of the night. They are the creator of the show Instability and made the drive all the way from Oshkosh. They're a UW Oshkosh graduate. Joining me now in the studio, Fallon Buccoltz. Hi, Fallon.
Hi.
And it's Buccoltz. I got it right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's Buccoltz.
I said Buccoltz the first time.
Yeah, it's
that
common
sounds a little
mistake.
more. Yeah. Buccoltz sounds very crude almost. Buccoltz sounds a little more sophisticated, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Well, welcome. Welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight? Are you excited to be here?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I've been looking forward to it all day.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, now the pressure's on Conrad. So you got to stay on your toes, buddy, just in case. No, don't take a powder. All right, I should ask you this, and before we get started, this will be like a little icebreaker, because we've never met before.
Correct.
But do you feel comfortable already?
Yeah, I do.
Am I making you feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, how do you practice laziness? You're a writer. I'm a writer, and trust me, I know, and procrastination is a thing with writers. And you could be lazy, or you could just blow it off completely. But what do you do to be lazy?
I'm pretty bad at being lazy.
Really?
Well, not necessarily super bad. I like to watch something I've already watched on TV while scrolling TikTok, which I think a lot of people my age love doing that. But my mind is usually still thinking about what I need to be doing.
So you got three things going on. You're thinking about what you're supposed to be doing. And it's not just people your age. I'm sorry to say, honest to God, I play video poker and I'll watch TV. And I always have to rewind the TV or I'll lose a hand at poker. It's like I'm a mess. And oftentimes I have stuff I should be doing too. So I don't think it's probably more prevalent in your generation, but people older than you are learning bad habits too at a rapid pace. So are you pretty good about writing? Do you write every day? Do you have a practice or a tendency when it comes to writing?
I've tried to schedule it. It's not for me, scheduling it. I
Okay.
don't write every day, close to. I have multiple projects at once, and that's how I'm able to write
Okay.
a lot, but not finish anything for a long time.
Well, you say that like it's a bad thing, or maybe you didn't mean it like that, but I think a lot of writers do that. They get sick of something, or some of us have attention deficit disorder, and some of us have attention deficit disorder. See what I did there? Let's start with Instability. Tell us about this really cool show. It's a web series, right?
Yes.
All right, and you're filming it. You're in production now.
Yes.
It'll be out in a couple months, but tell us about this cool. I was reading about it, and it's very creative. But tell us about Instability.
So it is a web series. You said that. It's an unreliable narrator, and I got the idea from How I Met Your Mother, and I wrote it even more unreliable than Ted Mosby. I have the three main characters go into a diner years after they've graduated college, and there's a blocked author already there trying to figure out an idea for his book, and he can't think of anything. And
Do you say a blocked author like he has writer's block?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he can't think of anything, so these women walk in and they start reminiscing about their college days, and he hears everything they're saying across the diner, and that's what his book is about. So then when he starts typing, we go into the scenes from them in college, and it's his book that we're watching.
That's really interesting. Is that hard? It's quite a concept, but there's a lot going on there. Is it give you issues when you shoot with like continuity, or is it nonlinear? You bounce back and forth between his book and the actual characters?
It's linear-ish.
Okay.
But we have actually already shot all of season 1 at the diner with him, with the blocked author actor. So all of his scenes for each episode for season 1 are done. So the continuity, and we had pre-production meetings where we went through continuity and all sorts of things. So we have had a lot of meetings to figure this out.
Nice. Where did you get the idea for this?
So like I said, How I Met Your Mother was one of them.
Okay.
I loved How I Met Your Mother, and I love the unreliable narrator trope. And I also based the characters on myself and two friends that I had when I was 18, 19 years old. We met working together, not as roommates. But those kids, that's where I started, and then it bloomed into something new.
Very nice. So do you see what I was talking about before, Conrad? There's going to be a little surprise for you. Conrad's favorite show is How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, it's a good show.
And I want to tell you something else. Where was that character? There's a character, the last name Creek. Oh, Colden.
Oh, that's actually an actor. He's not a character.
No, he's an actor in your show, correct? Conrad, his name is Colden Krieger.
Yeah.
KK.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Krieger the same way you do. Conrad spells his name with a K.
Ah, yeah.
It's been a source of contention between us. All right, so that's cool. So we're bonding here. We got the How I Met Your Mother thing. I think that's kind of cool. That's a show I have to check out. I haven't really seen.
Really?
I've just seen it sporadically, but so let's just talk about from a shooting standpoint. You said you're keeping it all together, but like continuity, you said it's linear-ish. You shoot like you shoot if all the diner scenes get done for efficiency's sake, but what is that going to be like when you go into the editing suite and you're trying to put it all together from the way you have the story? Like it sounds like kind of a mind bender a little bit.
So I'm actually not the editor. So my poor editor, Jasper, has to go through this.
Okay.
He has the scripts, so that's what helps him a lot. We talk about it. We actually did do a lot of the editing together, more of me as moral support than anything else.
Sure.
Though. And so the scripts are helpful. And we do have a slate each time we shoot a scene. So
I saw
scene
that,
1,
yeah.
1A, take 1, and then we go through, decide which takes we like the best, and get that all sorted out.
So you were an English major. You sat down to write this. Did you know it was going to be an episodic work right away, or did it start off as a feature film? What were you thinking when you set out to do this?
I honestly, people ask me this a lot, and I never really know what to say because I don't know why I decided to write a TV show. I've known I wanted to be a writer since I was a kid, and every time I would pick up a pencil or a pen when I was a kid, however I would write would be different every time. Like I wrote plays as a kid, I wrote short stories, I started writing books.
Yeah.
And this time I just picked it up and started writing a TV show.
You say you wrote books. Like we talked a little bit before you came on. We're both English majors.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty bad one because I don't read much anymore, and I'm ashamed of that. But don't you think it's like, as someone who's written primarily feature-length screenplays, 100 pages to 120 pages, you have beats you have to hit. I'm sure it's the same way for you with your web series. Do you find the idea of writing a book overwhelming? Because it could be 1,000 pages, it could be 300 pages. It just seems like, where do you start and where do you go?
It's somewhat overwhelming, especially since the publishing companies are really, like, they're hard right now. I did write a book last year. I did start querying it, and all I've gotten is denial. So it's really hard. And then I don't feel as passionately about my books as I do Instability. So I think that's very prevalent to publishers as well. So
interesting.
It's hard because I have a hard time getting into it right now.
My guest is Fallon Buccoltz. They are a writer from Oshkosh. Do you live in Oshkosh now?
I live in Appleton now.
Appleton, okay. So, and their TV show is called Instability. So it's not out yet. We'll talk about when it's coming out soon. Where's the title? Where does that come from? And does it pertain to the actual story? You're kind of jumping around with eras in the show. Where's the title come from?
The title comes from each of the characters not being stable yet. They're college kids, so they're learning and unlearning and becoming who they are. It does come from another thing, but I do feel I have to keep that private.
Okay. Will we see it when the show comes out?
No.
Okay. You're only willing to share so much. And that's fine. How long are the episodes? I have to be honest, I don't know much about web series.
So I did write this as a TV show.
Okay.
So, but we're going to make it into a web series. So they are 22 to 30 minutes, like a normal 30-minute sitcom.
Nice. And are there funny moments? How would you categorize it? Okay.
I would say it's a dramedy.
Dramedy. All right. All right. Very cool. And how many episodes can we look forward to when they drop?
We're only dropping the pilot right now, unfortunately.
Okay.
We are filming the second episode. We have a couple more shoot days. And then right now I am trying to crowdfund to finish filming season 1.
Okay.
So just the pilot for now, but then after that, I hope to drop the next 11 episodes at least weekly. I don't necessarily want to drop them all at once. I want people to come back every week. And
I think people think, I just said I don't know a lot about web series, but I know they're just as complicated to shoot as anything else you would shoot. What would you tell people who have never watched a web series before and they think, oh, this is just something you shoot and post like a 2-minute YouTube video? Tell them a little bit about the process and what you're going through in this labor of love.
Yeah, I mean, I make YouTube and TikToks, and you can do a lot of that by yourself.
Right.
So this requires a team. It requires a good camera. You have to schedule people, which is very hard to get all the people on the same schedule, as well as paying for a camera. Not easy.
Yeah.
It is a lot like a TV. I watch a couple web series on YouTube, and they are really good. And the reason that they're web series is normally that it's really hard to get picked up by a production company that would put you on TV.
And is that what you're hoping for? Obviously, you'd love to get a nice big check and for them to say, let's put this on TV.
Yes, I would love that. I know that Broad City by Alana Glazer and Abby Jacobson, that started as a web series, and then it became an amazing Comedy Central comedy show.
Would you give up creative control for the big bucks?
No, I couldn't do it.
Come on, really? Fallon, I don't believe you. Seriously?
I don't know if I could do it. Maybe it was a different project.
All right, that's fair. But it's a good calling card, right?
Yeah.
Like you have some people say, well, what have you done? What can you do? So what hats are you wearing during production of Instability? You're the writer, but are you directing it? Are you acting in it? What else are you doing?
I'm a director. I've directed every part of it, and then I've had a couple co-directors when needed because I've never directed before this.
Yeah.
And then this year I did direct a couple times by myself because we needed a smaller crew or we didn't have enough people come. And I also am the executive producer, which means I do everything to scheduling to making sure we have meals to eat on set.
You do all the stuff that's not the least bit fun, so you can do the fun stuff, right?
Yes.
That's a great way to. What is your favorite part of the? All right, let's do this. You talked about extras before. When you are you shooting in Appleton or Oshkosh?
Both. We've shot
okay.
in Appleton, Oshkosh, Menasha, and Neenah.
I know there's a lot of people that listen to this show who are independent filmmakers too. And is it hard when you shoot something like this, whether it's Oshkosh or Appleton or a small town, do you find people are typically supportive? Like you said, you're shooting in a diner. Do they make you pay, or they say, we'd love for you to shoot here, just get our sign in the shot, or what?
We shoot at Mims in Menasha, and I love to shout them out because they have
There's a little plug, sure.
amazing malts. Best malts I've ever had. And they do not have us pay. We come in on a day they're not open.
Nice.
And they let us shoot there. They're super nice. And that is how it's been for every location that we have shot at. Super nice, super accommodating owners.
All right. My guest is Fallon Buccoltz, and when we come back, they're going to tell us when you can see the first episode of this really cool sounding show called Instability. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
All right. Welcome back, folks. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. Our question of the night is, how do you practice laziness? It is National Laziness Day, and this is something I found on what I like to call the internet. Englishman Jeremiah Carlton is widely considered the laziest man in the world. He was heir to a large fortune at 19, promptly went to bed, and stayed there for the next 70 years just because he wanted to. More than 40 servants fed and bathed him until he died in bed at the age of 89. And then the question was, what did Jeremiah do in bed? I don't think we really want to know that. That sounds like the epitome of laziness. That is lazy. Even more so because I think what Amanda said, that just kind of freaked me out, that she wants to stare at a wall.
Yeah, and yeah. I don't think I could do. I couldn't sit there that long.
Could you let several people give you a bath? Would you find enjoyment in that somehow?
Probably not.
Come on.
I mean,
that's the highlight of your day.
If I had enough money,
if I was this guy, I would.
I guess why not?
Welcome back, folks. Fallon Buccoltz is my guest. They're in the studio with me right now talking about Instability, a show that Fallon created. And when does it come out?
We'll have a premiere party in Oshkosh on November 16th at the Time Cinema. So an old-fashioned cinema place, too. And then it will release on YouTube the following week on November 23rd.
How excited are you going to be when people finally get to see?
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I bet you are. The Time Theater is a great place, too. We've talked about the Time Theater on this show before as well. And then you have more episodes coming out after that on November 23rd? Or are they all going to be...
It's just the pilot on the 23rd that's being released because we're still working on filming the rest.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. All right. So you also in the show, as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, deal with issues that face the LGBTQ plus community. Was there someone, and you're a writer, was there someone along those lines that you looked up to as a writer that kind of set the stage for you to go, I can do that too? Or any writer for that matter. But I'm wondering where the LGBTQ plus, where those issues work their way into the show.
Well, I'm bi, non-binary, so mostly me. I inspire myself.
Okay. You're your own inspiration. That's really admirable.
But other writers have inspired me. I actually was somewhat inspired by Euphoria, which had some queer characters. Not like super inspired because it is way more dramatic than what I'm writing, but the narration and then some of the other stuff inspired me there too.
So when you were in college, you said you were an English major. What writers did you look up to, or who did you want to emulate?
I love Herman Melville.
Oh,
I
nice.
love him. Yes. And Virginia Woolf.
Oh, wow. The classics. All right.
I love classics.
That's fantastic. So, have you test marketed the show at all? Have you showed it to people, and do you get feedback during the process, or are you the kind that doesn't want that?
I haven't been able to show anybody. We're still working on finishing the pilot, editing it.
Okay.
And I do get feedback. I got feedback in the scripts with a group. I had a pre-production team that gave me good feedback. And then while we're shooting, sometimes I let people tell me opinions or ideas, actors, crew, anybody who has a good idea, I will listen to it. And sometimes I take that advice, and sometimes I say, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be open-minded like that. You have to be. You said you had a funny story during filming.
Yes.
You want to share that with us?
I hope Molly doesn't mind. My friend Molly and co-director and she does some other things too. She's also an actor in it eventually. We were outside filming last year for one of our scenes, and we have to be quiet once you're filming. Everybody has to be super, super quiet. We're all very calm, just watching it. Immediately after we stop rolling, she goes, I think I just got stung by a bee. Like 5 minutes ago.
Matter-of-factly.
And she's like, it hurt so bad. She told me later, it hurt so bad. I was like, I can't believe you were quiet. She's like, yeah, it was the first time I've been stung by a bee too. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, you could have interrupted that. Like, we could have just done another take.
Right. You'll cut yourself. Come on. Put some ointment on it. Let's keep moving along here. I will say I had a funny situation happen to me. My son was making a short film, and I had to cough. And I was like doing everything in my power not to cough, because I didn't want him to have to yell cut and stop everything. And my eyes started watering. And after the scene was over, he's like, Dad, what was going on with you in that scene? Like, I started crying, and I'm not even involved in the scene. I'm like basically a background character. But all kinds of stuff pop up when you're filming stuff, and you don't have any idea sometimes what's going to make you stop. What is your favorite hat to wear? You're directing, you wrote it. What's your favorite part of the whole process?
Writing.
Writing's
nice. My favorite part. It's the most fun part to me.
And it's the most important part, in my opinion. I mean, without a good script, you really don't have anything. All right. Well, I wish you luck with this show, Fallon. This is exciting, and I hope you'll keep us posted. We would love to check it out once we can see it on YouTube or wherever, for that matter. Hopefully, a big network. Who knows? But what are you binge watching?
So I'm binge watching multiple things. My partner and I, mostly him, but I'll watch it with him. He's been rewatching Community.
Okay.
So we've been watching that. I binge watch Bob's Burgers over and over again. And then I started a new show called Insecure, but I'm kind of failing at binging right now. It's been a few days since I watched it.
You're being a bad binger?
I'm being a bad binger.
That's shameful, Fallon. All right, your podcast, we have about a minute left. Your podcast is called Age and Growing Old, correct?
It's called Old to Young.
Old to Young, okay. And you jump around with ages in your TV show. Do you have a fixation with age or the aging process?
A little. I would say it's weird because people younger than me, and I know I'm young, but a lot of people younger than me, maybe it was COVID that makes them think that being in your late 20s is old. But I go every week, it's like I have someone telling me, oh my goodness, you're so old. And then turn around a couple of days later, it's like, you're so young. So it's about the weirdness of our age at this time.
And it's great that you're doing something with that, because that's an interesting quirk to be worried about aging at your age.
Yeah.
I find that. I am cheering for you, and I hope you keep us posted on the project and break a leg.
Awesome.
It's great to meet you. All right. Fallon Buccoltz, folks, look for Instability. We'll have some news probably at some point again on this show. We are going to break for intermission and come back for Act 2, and then at 7:20, Northeast Wisconsin-based comedian Trevor Klumpner joins me in the studio. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Let's go. Sit in the shoes and stand up. All right. All right. Let me tell you what you can do.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.